Today, we delve into the intriguing world of ancient Egypt, a civilization that has fascinated scholars for centuries. Amidst the wonders of pyramids and pharaohs, there are rumors surrounding a controversial figure named Zahi Hawass. He is a renowned Egyptologist, but some conspiracy theorists believe he may be hiding secret information about this ancient culture. In this video, we will explore the intriguing world of Zahi Hawass and the mysteries he may be associated with in ancient Egypt. Zahi Hawass is a highly esteemed figure in the world of Egyptology, having devoted his life to the study and protection of Egypt's invaluable archaeological heritage. Dr. Zahi Hawass talks about hidden aspects of ancient Egypt. How did modern technology reveal the secrets of the pharaohs? Archaeology has developed recently and converged with medicine, chemistry and physics to create a three-dimensional world for us about things that happened 2, 3,000 or even 5,000 years ago. Zahi says, some people think that archaeology is only related to the study of ancient texts, buildings, and pictures of people's lives painted on them thousands of years ago, but this is in fact inaccurate, as archaeology has recently developed and converged with medicine, chemistry, and physics to create a three-dimensional world for us about things that happened 2 or 3,000 years ago. 3,000 or even 5,000 years, using computed imaging methods, this kind of overlap between methodologies adds a lot of rigor to the results of archaeological finds, but it is not without uncertainty. In this article, he explains how some of these technologies changed what we know about the ancient Egyptians. Zahi Hawass reveals new secrets about the tomb of Tutankhamun. About a century ago, the English archaeologist Howard Carter opened the tomb of the young King Tutankhamun, which was resting in the bosom of calm and closing the doors on its secrets, and discovered that it was adorned with ornate jewelry, and carried among its folds beautiful furniture, luxurious clothes, as well as the famous golden face mask. Everything was in harmony with the royal burial rituals in the most prosperous era in the history of ancient Egypt. All things seemed consistent except for one thing that was hidden behind the mummy's straps, a dagger that appeared to be out of place. And because human nature is strongly attracted to seeking to know things that are shrouded in mystery, Carter tried to explore this dagger, and it became clear that the problem was not in its golden cover, but in its blade made of shiny iron, a metal that the Egyptians did not learn to smelt until centuries after the death of King Tutankhamun. So Carter hypothesized that the dagger may have been imported from the ancient Hittite Empire in Anatolia, an empire famous for its early iron industry. However, Carter's theory, which assumed that iron was made in areas much further from ancient Egypt, did not find proof until 2016, and indeed the theory was confirmed at that time, and the researchers also discovered that this dagger contains high levels of nickel associated with meteorite iron. Howard Carter, English archaeologist and Egyptian assistant examining the sarcophagus of King Tutankhamun, found during excavations in his tomb in the Valley of the Kings, Egypt, October 1925. Photo, Harry Burton. Shutterstock. What distinguishes this discovery and makes it an event that arouses interest and curiosity is the way scientists used to analyze this dagger without damaging it using X-rays. This process is indicative of a new approach in Egyptology that emphasizes preserving antiquities from destruction, as we can now study mummies without unwrapping their covers, and even more importantly, our ability to create virtual landscapes of assets thousands of years ago while preserving artifacts intact for generations. These discoveries have always crept into Carter's mind, like distant dreams that dig their catacombs in his depths. Dr. Zahi Hawass also speaks. You may think that scanning the mummy is a new technology that has only recently announced itself, but the truth is that X-rays were first discovered by scientists in 1895, and a few years later in 1903, Carter moved the 3,300-year-old body of Pharaoh Thutmose IV from the Egyptian Museum on the back. A horse-drawn carriage leads to a nearby hospital that has modern technology to X-ray the corpse. But in recent decades, new hopes have been given to archaeologists by major changes in the way they use X-rays. After their eyes have been searching for a glimmer of hope in the darkness for a long time, it is now easy for them to access high-resolution computed tomography devices, which emit X-rays from multiple angles to produce a three-dimensional image of the internal structure of the object, which allows it to be examined and analyzed well before time covers it. In oblivion. Digital penetration of mummies. In 2021, Zahi Hawass, the former Egyptian Minister of Antiquities, in cooperation with Sahar Salim, a university doctor specializing in radiology at Cairo University, announced the digital unpacking of the mummy of Amenhotep I using computed tomography, and Amenhotep is the pharaoh who ruled Egypt before Tut. Ankhemun with 2 centuries, that is, around 1500 BC. The unfortunate thing is that the king's tomb had previously been looted in ancient times, and plunged into a comprehensive obscurity as if it were ancient history without documents. But after several generations, the priests rescued the body of the pharaoh and reburied it to preserve it from the impurities of time before it was stalked by loss and annihilation. After the body disappeared from sight for long periods of time, the excavators discovered it later in the late 19th century, and preserved it beautifully inside a coffin bearing wreaths of flowers. The tomography scans conducted by both Hawas and Salim showed that the mummy was carefully restored, and they also revealed 30 pieces of gold, quartz, and jewelry in different shapes and colors, in addition to a belt consisting of 34 golden beads. This was a major breakthrough, especially if we know that when Carter and his team analyzed the mummy of Tutankhamun in 1925, they surgically performed this operation, dividing the body into separate parts to examine and discover what was inside. But the situation has changed now, as Hawas said, thanks to modern technologies, we are now able to unveil the mummy's face, and we can even show you the golden amulets that we found inside without affecting it, as if this amazing process mediates the relationship between the past and the present through freeze a moment in time.